Hi, my name is Grody, and welcome to Minogi. I just want to give you a little background on myself. I'm a 1981 graduate of Duke University, and following my graduation from Duke, I joined Procter & Gamble in the sales department. I had a variety of roles in sales in Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, our global headquarters, and in New Orleans. I then moved to our international division, working in the Caribbean with distributors for P&G's products there and U.S.-based exporters to Latin America. Following that assignment, I moved to Adelaide, Australia. Procter & Gamble didn't have business in Australia, but we bought the Richardson Vicks company, who had a subsidiary there. I went there to help manage test markets in Adelaide, South Australia, and then moved to Sydney to roll some of those products out across Australia and New Zealand. My next assignment then was going to Taipei, Taiwan. Procter & Gamble had a joint venture with a local company in Taiwan. We were looking to buy ourselves out of the joint venture and start up P&G from scratch. I went up there to start the sales department and also put a logistics system in place so we could get our products to the retailers and eventually the consumers. While I was there, we bought the Max Factor Cosmetics company. Max Factor is a mass cosmetics brand here in the US, but it's a prestige brand in Asia. So my role was to help manage the sales and consumer interface for Asia outside of Japan. And that included working on the beauty counters that you would see in department stores and working with the makeup artists and coming up with the right strategies for us to win in store. Following that assignment, I moved to Frankfurt, Germany, where Procter & Gamble had its headquarters for Central and Eastern Europe. This was in the early 90s, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and we were aggressively moving into the former Soviet Union, starting with Russia, and then Poland, Hungary, and the Czech and Slovak republics. So I helped manage the sales force for the region. From there I moved down to Bucharest, Romania, to open up Romania, Bulgaria, the former Yugoslavian republics. When I got down there, it was me, a driver, and a secretary. When I left a couple of years later, we had on-the-ground business in most of the countries down there. I think 8 of the 9 countries I managed. We weren't in Serbia because of a UN embargo. We had bought a detergent factory in Romania and had that up and running. We were doing all of our invoicing and advertising locally, while I brought in a few expats as kind of managers for the functions. We hired local folks to do all the work. From there, I moved back to Frankfurt and worked on advertising for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and then had an assignment focusing on just one category for Germany. After that, I moved to Geneva. Procter & Gamble has the Pringles brand, and at the time we owned Sunny Delight, which is an orange drink beverage, and I was in charge of rolling those out from a sales standpoint across Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Following that assignment, I moved back to Cincinnati to manage what we called Innovative Distribution Solutions. It was a way for us to find ways to get our products into retailers that didn't have them previously, to do better business in the inner city where there are more small shops, and we hadn't had a system to get to a lot of those small shops, and then also to look at the internet and how we could set up e-commerce for products that had not yet come to market as a way to test market them with a select group of consumers. At that point, I was on an assignment to work a restructure for Procter & Gamble for our North American go-to-market division. It's about 2,500, 3,000 folks, and my role was to develop the structure from the bottom up and then work on putting in place the plans and HR policies to manage the staffing of that structure. It was a very large undertaking. It went very well. Generally, when there's a lot of change, your business can take a dip for a while. From the day we put in place many of those changes, the business increased. So it helped our organization focus more, it brought stability, and that worked very well. Following that assignment, I then worked on the integration of Clairol into Procter & Gamble. P&G had bought Clairol, and again I worked on their integration for the go-to-market part of our North American business. Following that, I moved into a global assignment, still based in Cincinnati. I was the director for our global strategic alliances, which meant I worked with other companies outside of P&G on technology deals, co-marketing deals, worked with folks like Disney, did some work with the U.S. government in terms of the Department of Energy, had co-marketing and technology deals with people like Whirlpool, Bosch Siemens in Europe, Haier in China, Matsushita in Japan, and those companies' subsidiaries throughout the world. I then retired, and being a good Duke grad and a Blue Devil fan, moved down here to Durham to teach in the Market and Management Studies program at Duke, teaching marketing class and some sociology. And I'm really excited to be able to talk to you and share with you some of my experiences, and hope trigger some thoughts and creativity in your own mind. Thanks.